Watkins from Your Black World and the Black Business School, and I'm going to take a second to give you guys a chance to jump into the conversation so that we can begin what I consider to be a very important discussion. There's a lot happening right now, and it kind of bothers me. It's something that I think is worth sort of issuing kind of a quick rallying cry. Believe it or not, today I did not plan to do any more conversations or broadcasts for a little while. But I had to really talk about this one because this one really bothers me quite a bit. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but Facebook Facebook, the company issued a lifetime ban for Minister Louis Farrakhan. Let me repeat that. They just issued a lifetime ban of Minister Louis Farrakhan. They killed his page. They shut him down. They kicked him off. He's gone as far as Facebook is concerned. And the thing is, you said, "Are you okay?" No, I'm not. I'm really not okay because this kind of upsets me. It angers me actually because there's no reason to do this. But as you know, they are ready and willing always to mischaracterize your leaders and to mischaracterize your people and to define you as something that you're not. And of course, they're doing this with Minister Farrakhan. And so today they announced that Minister Farrakhan has been booted off the social media platform. And so, if you want to know why I took the time to talk to you guys about this, is because I'm a big supporter of Minister Louis Farrakhan, a big supporter of the Nation of Islam. I care very deeply about the nation. I've spoken at the Muhammad University of Islam a couple of times, and I've been in the final call a bunch of times, things like that. I've done events with the minister, and I have a lot of respect for the minister. And I think that while you certainly can argue that you have the right to disagree with Farrakhan, this idea that that you want to label him in any way you want to label him is, that's some racist propaganda, as it is. I mean, that's how racism works. The way racism works is the racist will label everybody racist but him. The racist will label everybody racist except for the racist. It's really interesting. Or like how the white female has labeled the black man as a super predator, even though we're the ones that have been getting sent to prison for hundreds of years because some white woman told a lie. They want you to believe that the black man is the one committing crimes, when we know that that's not been the case. And I think that this also speaks to the importance of black media and the fact that we, as angry as I am about all of this, I think this is a huge wake up call that we have to find a multitude of ways to connect and communicate with one another that go outside of these social media platforms. And so if you guys actually want to know, we've been planning for this for a very long time. I told you, I get banned from Facebook for like 30 days at a time, and they ban me all the time. Like I get banned constantly. They're constantly blocking stuff, shutting things down, all of that. I had a page with 700,000 people on the page 2 years ago, and they kicked my page. They just deleted the page. And we emailed them, we tried to call them, we sent all kinds of messages to them. They're so arrogant, they didn't even respond. Like not once. They did not even say, this is why you got banned, this is the due process. That's how arrogant they are. And I know that eventually they're going to be toppled by their own arrogance. I mean, eventually it's gonna catch up with them. Somebody's gonna take them down. It's gonna be a wrap. But when that happened, we actually began preparations for the day that Facebook shuts us down completely. I've always known it was going to happen. I figured it would happen to the minister at some point. So if you want to know what our plan B is, it's Plan Black Enough. It starts with the letter B. Blackenough.com is our other social media platform that's 100% black. We do not own that technology. I spent an entire year trying to, custom build something, and it just kept breaking down. It cost us. That thing probably cost us a good $80,000 before we said, okay, we got to try another approach, because it wasn't working. It had too many bugs. So we found some technology that was already there where they told us that we could use it for whatever we wanted, and that we could decide who's on the platform and who's not, what they say, what they do, complete freedom of speech. So it's called Black Enough, BLAGGENUF. So I want to let you guys know about Black Enough as a gathering spot for black people that is safe, or safer than Facebook. And let me tell you a few things about Facebook and the banning of Minister Farrakhan that'll kind of put a lot of this into context for you. I'm a technology guy, and I'm also a financial guy, so I can tell you kind of what's happening with Facebook and why they're doing some of the things that they're doing. Is there an app? Yeah, there is an app. It's not great yet. We're actually working. Once we get the membership up to a certain level, we'll go ahead and have a custom app developed. But until then, the easiest way is to go through the computer. But if you can't, you can go through your phone. There is it's Mighty Networks. It's a section of what they call Mighty Networks. Mighty Networks allows you to create your own social media platforms with a lot of functionality. And the thing is that our strategy has been one where we said we're going to use Mighty Networks in conjunction with pieces of other platforms. So even with Facebook, we didn't get rid of our Facebook pages because Facebook is where we have we have hundreds of thousands of people on Facebook that follow us there on different pages. So we kept Facebook as part of our company strategy, but we actually always said, let's have a lot of plan Bs in place so that we're not overly dependent on Facebook. Because the thing about Facebook that's really interesting is that that's not a company you can trust. Facebook is not a good company. They are incredibly racist. In fact, it's funny, I'm broadcasting on Facebook as I say this, and I say this to just say that, even as I say things, I'm sure they've got bots and voice recognition technology, so they're going to pick up the words that I say, and I already know they've already got us under the scope, so it's only a matter of time before they go deeper and start doing other things. But anyway, Facebook is just not a very good company in terms of how they run their business. They're not a good corporate citizen. I've talked to people. I talked to a white guy actually who was actually a billionaire, close to it. He's very, very rich, and he hates Facebook. He said Facebook is the devil. He said, I know Mark Zuckerberg. He said, I've known Mark for a long time, and he said that these people are very unethical. They have way too much power. And I said, wow, it's interesting. I thought I was one of the few who felt that way. I've always had my own assessment of things, but I wanted to hear his just to see what everybody else was seeing. And even this white guy was basically saying that Facebook is evil. Those are the first words that came out of his mouth when he talked about it. He said Facebook is evil. He said they harm the users, they steal their data, they harm businesses, they destroy. He called them the destroyer of worlds. They're the destroyer of worlds because what you've got is you've got these big businesses that build themselves off of Facebook. And if you're in the Black Business School, you'll know one of the things I have taught consistently to Black Business School students is do not have your business heavily dependent on Facebook. It doesn't mean you can't use it. Facebook has some functionality that makes it very powerful. That's how they get so many users. That's why a lot of y'all are on Facebook and you hate Facebook, right? Think about this. You hate to love them, you love to hate them, but they're there. They're not going to go away because they are smart, right? They do have actually good technology. But the thing about it is that Facebook, I've seen Facebook take, businesses that were making $1 million a year and shut them down like that. Like literally Facebook will look at your stuff. It's like staying in a hotel with your woman and the hotel manager says, ooh, I would like to have that woman. And next thing you know, you in your room sleeping with your woman and the manager done snuck in your room and got with your woman, or got a peephole, got a camera in your room so you can watch your woman get naked. That's what Facebook does. Facebook will look at your business, and if you're making too much money off of Facebook, they will come in and they will create businesses that will suck up your business. And so ultimately Facebook is an evil company. The way ethically, they are a complete mess. A lot of this started actually after Facebook went public. Before, when Facebook first started, they were actually a decent company. They were making their money, but they were also building a space where people could connect and collaborate and share their posts, and they would go far and wide, and everybody felt empowered, and people were able to go in there and make money. And then when they went public, they had the Wall Street greed that came in and basically just started doing really unethical things. So Facebook is really a terrible company. I mean, in terms of, being a good corporate citizen, it's inevitable that they're going to go down. Facebook is almost like, if anybody else watches Game of Thrones and shows like that, how you have a villain and the person is a villain for several seasons in a row, and eventually they're going to get theirs. Like eventually somebody going to chop their head off, somebody going to come at them with a knife or poison them or whatever. You just know somebody going to come at that ass. Facebook is like that. Because right now, Facebook is surrounded by millions of consumers that hate them. Facebook is surrounded by millions of businesses that hate them. Facebook is surrounded by tons of regulators that hate them. They are surrounded by shareholders who hate them. They have a long list of people and businesses and whether you're talking about individuals, companies, or regulators that can't stand them. And eventually, it's all going to come down on them. I guarantee you that much. Maybe even to the point where you'll see one of their executives or even Zuckerberg himself go to prison. I don't think Facebook is going to last that long operating the way they operate. And so I think that the banning of Louis Farrakhan is just yet another example of how they unfairly mischaracterize. They mischaracterize, who we are. They mischaracterize black people. I would get banned for 30 days for shit that I posted 5 years ago. I kid you not. The last ban I got was for something that was posted in 2014. And then before that, I got banned because I posted a quote from Muhammad Ali and they defined it as hate speech. There's another time I got banned for something that somebody else put on my page. They put it on my page and it wasn't even me. And I'm like, what are you talking? The problem is they have no due process. They literally have shown, and people have talked about this, people have analyzed this, whether or not some of these technology companies are getting too much power. They don't have to operate like democracies. They operate like dictatorships. So they've got their corporate board and their managers, their CEOs and et cetera, who make these unilateral decisions and they don't have to ask for anybody's permission. So what's effectively occurred is you're seeing a massive, massive abuse of power. There is a tremendous political bias on Facebook. I'm telling you, I don't get into Republican Democrat stuff, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit in a minute. But it's not a coincidence that most of the pages that get banned are Republican pages, right? Now, I'm not telling you to be a Republican or a Democrat. I'm just saying that it shows that basically, Facebook is a lot like our universities, where you kind of have these spaces where white liberals control them, and they pretty much decide who's allowed to talk and who isn't allowed to talk. They are the new fascists. They are the new Hitlers. They are the new, the new dictators. They want to see people only allowed to talk if they say things that they agree with. So do me a favor, if you're on Instagram, Facebook, anywhere, YouTube, please hit the thumbs up button. Hello to Instagram, my Instagram friends at The Real Boyce Watkins. Hello to everybody on drboycetv.com. Please hit the thumbs up button. Everybody on the count of three, please hit the thumbs up button. 1, 2, 3. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Hello, everybody on Your Black World. Hello, everybody on the African History Network. I just wanted to greet everybody individually. If you are on Facebook, please share this video. I don't know how Facebook's going to react to it. I don't know if they're going to get upset that we are talking about them right now, but I do know that they watch us. I did that much, I know. So it's kind of one of those things where I'm like, sheesh, I don't really know what, you don't know what's going to happen. And also I want to remind everybody, blagenough.com, here's how you spell it. We're going to try to find a name that's a little shorter, that's a little easier to remember. Maybe we'll find an acronym and get that URL. But for now, this is what it's called. And this is our social media platform that you can go to that's very black. And we use the word blag, like, it's like almost, are you black enough, right? So it's, are you blag enough, right? That's our word. We invented this word. We have a trademark on this word. If you go to the trademark and patent and copyright office, you will find that the term blag enough is our word, is owned by us. Can't nobody else use it legally. And so that's our social media platform. So feel free to go to blagenough.com if you want to join a social media platform and get off of Facebook. And the best thing about it is it's all black. You'll never get banned. The conversations are great. I'm in there as well. And that's where I'm going to be the day Facebook bans me for life. They're going to ban me. It's only a matter of time. I just pretty much use it as part of our strategy until they decide to go ahead and move forward. Hit the thumbs up button, please. And also, please share this video. Now, one thing that was really fascinating about the banning of Farrakhan, Vicky Dillard is the person who hit me to it today. I was watching FlyNubianQueenTV.com, and Vicky was in there. And Vicky is a proud member of the Nation of Islam, and she is a very, very extraordinary human being. In fact, I see Vicky in there now. How you doing, Vicky? Good to see you. And so I saw Vicky, talking about it today, and of course she was disappointed, as I am. And the thing that I went to the internet and I started reading, looking. I said, "Oh my God, they banned Farrakhan." So I started Googling this, and I looked it up. And in the Washington Post, it was really fascinating. They had Farrakhan next to a couple white boys, Alex Jones and a guy named Maya Yiannopoulos. And I thought this was really interesting. Okay, so Alex Jones, clearly right wing, super right wing. Some would say that he makes things up. I don't know. I'm not gonna say one way or the other. But I've never been really big into Alex Jones. But I know that Alex Jones is not on the par of a Farrakhan. His energy is very different from a Minister Farrakhan. If you know Farrakhan, and I've met him on several occasions up close, had many conversations with him. He is a person that is wise and good and gentle. Just to give you an example, how many of y'all, if you saw this, I don't know if any of you saw, and this is where I made a mistake of letting somebody use my YouTube channel who didn't have the black community's best interest at heart. There was a lady that used to work for me named Yvette Carnell, and Yvette Carnell was using my YouTube channel, and Yvette went on my YouTube channel and just did this horrible hit piece on Minister Farrakhan. I mean, just attacked him, tried to berate him, tried to basically publicly castrate him if she could. And I don't know if she's jealous of men. I don't know if she just hates certain black men, but she does this all the time. She's kind of a professional hater. It is what it is. That's what, hey, she sits around with a nasty look on her face and just gets mad at everybody and attacks everybody or whatever. And so she went on my YouTube channel and just attacked the shit out of Louis Farrakhan. I mean, said some things that were uncalled for. I think that if she had just said, I don't agree with him, I don't see his point of view, that I understand. I know I have a lot of friends who don't agree with the minister, and that is okay. It's actually okay to disagree with him. But in this case, it was a hit piece, almost like somebody put her up to it, like a political, like, I want to see this man gone. She might as well have been a Klansman with what she was saying. So at that point, the Nation of Islam brothers were very upset. They were very upset. And the sisters, everybody, I mean, they were, and I think some of them were mad at me, rightfully so. And I was mad. I was like, wait a minute, why would you do this? Like, why would you if you're going to attack this man, go use your YouTube channel. Don't use mine. This is not cool. So what I did was I went to talk to some of the brothers in the nation, and they didn't attack her. They didn't come out after her to beat her up or anything like that. They were very respectful, but they did say, this is just not true. This is the things you're saying are just not true. So I went to the minister and I had a meeting with him. I went to his house. He lived actually not too far from me in Chicago. I don't talk about it much, but the place I had in Chicago was around the corner from Louis Farrakhan. He was 2 blocks that way. Barack Obama was 2 blocks that way. Never once did I care about going 2 blocks that way to Barack Obama's house, but on many occasions I went 2 blocks that way to visit the Minister Farrakhan. As far as I'm concerned, I didn't care that the President of the United States lived 2 blocks that way. I only respected the president of the black community who lived 2 blocks that way, or the guy that I consider to be one of the presidents, one of the greatest leaders in the history of all mankind around the corner. So I went to the minister's house and I talked to him about the thing with Yvette. And I did not know what the reaction was going to be. I did not know how he was going to respond. I did not know. I'm sitting there thinking, man, this is bad. How do people, let me just see what's going on. And I'm going to tell you like this, and I put this on my late grandmama. And I don't put things on my grandmama's name because, if it's not true, because I love her that much. He was as gentle and as kind about it as a human being could be. I mean, he was far nicer about it than I would have been. I wouldn't have been so nice about it. I ain't gonna lie. He literally, not only did he say that that all is forgiven, but he basically encouraged me to tell her to keep speaking. And I was thinking, I don't know if I want her to keep on talking like this because the woman's crazy, and so anyway, I remembered walking away thinking, wow, like that was for me a lesson on manhood. Because, he's my elder, and the times I've sat with him, I learned from him because he's very wise. Him, Dr. Claude Anderson, and Kenny Gamble, those are 3 older black men that I learned a lot from. And I carry the flag for those guys because I know them well and I respect them all. And I remember thinking, wow, that's fascinating that he's able to maintain that level of discipline and composure when this lady just basically went on the internet and just told a whole bunch of lies about him and basically said that he's pretty much worthless. And so that's a real life story, a real life, honest to God story about the minister that clearly shows that he did not deserve to be put in the category with some of these other people that they're talking about. Maya Yiannopoulos, the 3rd guy on that list, let me tell you, Maya Yiannopoulos they took him apart because he was out here talking about how nice it is to have sex with 13-year-old children. Did y'all remember that? Anybody remember that? Yes or no? Tell me if you remember. Yes or no? Yes or no? Do you remember this? Maya Yiannopoulos was literally blasted because he was talking about how nice it is to have sex with a 13-year-old boy. See, now they want to act like it's the black heterosexual males that are the predators. No, you got a whole lot of predators in the LGBT community. They just keep that under wraps. They don't talk about that. Like they got a whole lot of Ed Bucks out here, right in the Democratic Party. They got a whole lot of alignment. I mean, these pedophiles are somewhere. Come on now, these kids are getting molested by somebody. They ain't being molested by ghosts. So anyway, at the end of the day, Maya Yiannopoulos, for the fact that white folks will put Farrakhan, one of the most noble human beings to ever walk the face of the earth. I mean, I'm not going to say you got to sit here and agree that he's a wonderful person all the way around. I'm not telling you what to think about the man. I'm just trying to say, even those who don't like him can't just dismiss him entirely as a complete lunatic or as a person that just deserves no respect. Even people that don't like Farrakhan give Farrakhan at least some degree of respect. And that's the thing. So, I mean, again, I'm not sitting here trying to say you got to pretend like you haven't seen different points of view or that you align with everything he says. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that when you're talking about hate speech, when you're talking about people that really want to harm another person, when you're talking about those who advocate for violence and terrorist ideologies and all that stuff, the fact that they put Farrakhan in that group, really what that really is that that's the same type of rope-a-dope that white liberals like to pull on the black male in general. They want to make you appear to be the predator when they know that they are the predator. They want, like when they were putting all the spotlights on the Michael Jacksons and all this other stuff, it was only to cover up their own shit. It was because they got 100 times more. I mean, I don't even know. I don't know. I'm not gonna sit here and I don't know the details of Michael Jackson's life. I can't speak for that one way or the other. But I don't see how he could, even if he did do some of the things that he was accused of doing. You got these white folks, some of these white folks that are literally molesting children on an industrial scale. Like they have systems and entire networks on this. The entire Boy Scouts, they're not accused of molesting one or two kids or a child here and a child there. They're accused of systematically molesting thousands of children to the point where millions of parents are like, I'm never sending my kids to the Boy Scouts ever again. The Catholic Church wasn't accused of one or two incidents. They didn't have to go search high and low and interview thousands of people to find a couple of victims of the Catholic Church. They were doing a carpet bomb of molestation on children all around the globe. They had systems for this. A system can always do more than an individual. So the point of the matter is to say that, I think that when you're talking about this the racist individuals in certain communities, the Zionist communities in particular, their hatred of black people and their inability or lack of desire to hear any point of view other than their own results in incredible racist oppression to the point where they become the oppressive figures that they claim that they dealt with during World War II. They've become in some ways the new Nazis. If you go and you say one thing that even challenges the policies of Israel and the fact that Israel has blown up daycares and hospitals and killed all kinds of people in the name of self-defense, their first knee-jerk reaction is to say, "Oh, you're anti-Semitic. You're anti-Semitic. You're anti-Semitic." And one thing that you can say also about Farrakhan that I know this for a fact is that there's plenty of Jewish rabbis that love him to death, that think he's a great guy. So I really think that that all of this kind of is a reflection of the ignorance of whites when it comes to understanding the nuances of blackness. Even the fact that the Washington Post defined him to be a right winger, and it's funny. Even the people on the right wing were like, "How dare you say that he's a right winger, right?" But then the liberals can't claim him either. They're like, "Well, he's not one of us. We condemn him too. We condemn him too." Well, the reason that the right wing doesn't like Farrakhan, the reason the left wing doesn't like Farrakhan is because he's not a bought, owned, and paid for Negro. He's not he's not a Negro in a box. He's not, something where you can, he's not a little buckwheat puppet that you can put into a specific category, like these ladies that work for Bernie Sanders and Joe Biden. I'm talking about their campaign managers, like Simone Sanders. You know what she is. She's a bought and paid for Negro. They put her in a box. They package her up, put a little gift wrap on top of her head, and say, "Here you go. We're gonna sell a little buck to the nearest white man for the highest bid." Those bought and paid for Negroes are not the ones that should be leading the community, but those are the ones that they want you to think are your leaders. But we know that they're not. Smart black people know that they're not. Intelligent black people know that they're not. Farrakhan can't be put in a predefined category designed by white people because he is a free black man. Free black men and free black women cannot be put into a box. Free black men and free black women will confuse you, because one day you're going to think that they're conservative, and then the next day you're going to think that they're liberal, and then the next day you'll think that they're conservative again, because they have an ideology that is disjoint from the preconceived Negro in a box ideologies that you've been feeding to black people for 400 years. In mathematics, we have a term for that. The term is called orthogonal. Orthogonality means that you can't take things that already exist and put something in a specific category based on what's already there. Orthogonal means it's a whole different thing in a whole different lane. It's a whole different game. You can't place it in the game because they've changed the game. So Farrakhan has orthogonality to the pre-existing political system, which is why white folks get confused when they try to condemn him as a right-winger or as a left-winger. He's not a winger because he's not a little chicken with little wings that you can put into any category. He ain't got no wings. He's a black man that stands on his own 2 damn feet. He ain't got feathers. He's a man. And y'all not used to seeing a black man who is a real man. Y'all used to seeing black men who are bought and paid for men. That's why Farrakhan confuses you. Please hit the thumbs up button. If you haven't hit the thumbs up button, please do that. Please also share this video. If you're on Facebook, please share the video. Once again, if you want to join our social media platform for black people, it's Black Enough. Here's how you spell it. I got it on a shirt, so it'll be easy for you to spell. I want to get a shorter name because people misspell it. So I want to make sure you spell it right. So I actually literally got this t-shirt just for you so that you can spell it. Somebody please type it in, blackenough.com. Everybody please join because that's where I'm going to be when Facebook bans me too. They're banning everybody or anybody that doesn't say what white people want to hear. That's kind of what it is. And it's a reflection of these social media companies having too much power. That's the problem. That's why they should be regulated. That's why they need to get rid of they need to sort of deal with them in a different way. They need to get rid of these monopolies that they have. So they need to start busting them up for antitrust law violations. And Mark Zuckerberg knows this. That's why they're constantly fighting and buying off your politicians. I don't know if it's ever going to happen, but it is what it is. Let me show you all something. Apparently, I'm not the only one who's upset about what happened with the minister. Of course, you know Vicky Dillard was upset. She talked about it today on FlyNewBeingQueenTV.com. Also, another person who happened to be upset, and I appreciate him for doing this, is the rapper Snoop Dogg. And I'm gonna share with you guys what Snoop had to say about Farrakhan being banned. So give me a second, guys, while I share this video real quick. Please hit the thumbs up button while I do that. If you don't mind, I would appreciate that very much. So here's Snoop. So if you can't see it, if you're not on drboystv.com, you won't see it, but you'll hear it, and it's fine. You can just hear it or see it, either one. Okay, here it goes.
Y'all feel? So Facebook and Instagram just banned Minister Louis Farrakhan. I want to know for what. All he ever do was tell the truth. But y'all gonna ban him though. All right. What if we ban y'all? What if we stop fucking with y'all? Facebook and Instagram? How the fuck y'all gonna ban Minister Louis Farrakhan for putting truth out there? I stand with him. I'm with him. Ban me, motherfucker. Ban me. Because I'm going to keep posting this shit. I'm going to keep putting Minister Louis Farrakhan out there. That's my dear brother. Fuck y'all that got a problem with him. Sorry about that, Minister. I had to bang for you. I know you don't permit that. But that ain't right. It's not right. It's a bunch of motherfuckers y'all could ban. But y'all choose Minister Louis Farrakhan. Assalamu alaikum, my brother.
All right, so that was Snoop Dogg expressing his support for the minister, which I thought was real cool. And I think it's a reflection of, of the fact that, Snoop's statement really shows the respect that that Farrakhan has amongst black men of all backgrounds. One thing I can say about the minister that I think is extraordinary, and it's part of the reason why he's public enemy number one, is that black men from all backgrounds, almost all backgrounds, really respect him. It doesn't matter. I mean, some of there are parts of the city in Chicago that the police are real nervous about going into, but the Nation of Islam can go to those communities because they have respect, because they come with love. They come with love and they come with strength. There are things that the Nation of Islam can do with a black man that there's no organization in society that can elevate and strengthen black men the way the Nation of Islam can. There's no, I mean, there's nobody I've never seen to this day. Tell me yes or no. Yes or no. Have you ever seen any organization that can clean up, straighten up, strengthen up a black man the way the Nation of Islam has? Okay, has anybody, do you know of any organization? I mean, you think Obama with his "my brother's keeper" bullshit's going to do any of that? I mean, do you really think Obama with "my brother's keeper" is going to help the black man in America regain his strength and prominence in this country? Do you really think that? That's the closest you got. You ain't got nothing else. Right. The Nation of Islam, in fact, and here's the thing. The fact that they are not interested in supporting the Nation of Islam, the fact that the Nation of Islam has the Muhammad University of Islam, which is one of the best schools I've ever seen. I mean, these children were asking me questions that grad students ask me. These children, they were 13, 14, 15 years old, were asking me questions that grad students ask me. I can't get that from a public school. Chicago public schools, a lot of the kids can't even read. At the Muhammad University of Islam, these kids were asking questions that my seniors at Syracuse University were not asking me. So pay attention. The Nation of Islam can clean up black men unlike any other organization in America. They can educate black people better than any public school or even private school that I've ever seen in this country. Yet they act like these institutions don't exist. They don't want these institutions to get any funding whatsoever. They can start 1,000 businesses tomorrow, but they of course would never allow any of the funds from the Small Business Administration to go to the nation to help them to do that. Why is that? Why do you think that is? It's because this country is a country where they will only support institutions and initiatives that will lead to your demise and to your extermination and to your continued physical, spiritual, psychological, and economic incarceration. They will only support institutions that are designed to keep the black man weak. They will only support things that are designed to keep you on your goddamn knees. They will only support institutions that are designed to keep you under the thumb of white folks. Again, I'm not even mad that they're not supporting these institutions. I'm not mad that they're not helping the nation do their work. I mean, really, it's really a matter of seeing it for what it is. It's me telling you, like, I need y'all to read the writing on the wall. I need y'all to stop thinking that they're cheering for you, right? Stop getting mad. Stop coming to me and telling me, well, you know, Dr. Boyce, they really don't want us to succeed because every time we get ahead, they knock us back. That's because you dumb motherfucker. They never wanted you to win anyway. Excuse my French, I'm sorry, but they never wanted you to win in the first place. What makes you think if the Dallas Cowboys are playing against the Washington Redskins, why would the Cowboys players come off the field and say, man, every time we try to run the ball, they keep tackling us. They act like they don't want us to score no points. Because they don't. Because they don't. They don't want you to win. They just shook your hand before the game because they were trying to be nice. But after that point, they wanted to knock your head off and put you in a wheelchair. That was their goal at that point. And so for black people, I think that because we were taught to be uncompetitive, we don't understand that. We have not got that through our thick heads. They ain't rooting for you. They don't want you to win. The fact that the nation does not get their support makes me trust the nation more. It makes me realize, oh, what you're doing must be effective because white people don't want to support anything you're doing. Vicky Dillard mentioned earlier today, Farrakhan went on Donahue in the 80s. Anybody remember that? Yes or no? Yes or no? Does anybody remember seeing Minister Farrakhan when he was a sharp young man? He's still a sharp young man now. I mean, the man looks 30 years younger than what he is. But does anybody remember when Farrakhan went on Donahue back in the 80s? And he was sharp, and they tried to come and get him. They were like, we're going to take this Negro out. We're going to tear him down. We're going to break him down and make him look stupid. He ran circles around those people. He ate them up with the truth. He broke them down. He had people that hated him at the beginning walking out saying, I kind of like this guy. he beat them down with intelligence, with charisma, with insight, with wisdom. And it did not go according to plan. And you know what they did after that? They banned him from network television for the next 30 years. You know that? He goes on Arsenio. Arsenio is the only one that would let him on. A lot of places wouldn't let him on. He goes on Arsenio. He tears it up. Does a wonderful job. Next thing you know, Arsenio is gone. Arsenio ain't on the air no more. What does this say to us? When we read the writing on the walls, it is a reminder of what? Black people need our own media. That is the only solution for black people. The only solution for black people is that we must have our own in everything. We must own our own in everything. We must have our own schools. We must have our own businesses. We must have our own media. We must have our own everything. In 50 years, every black neighborhood should have black-owned grocery stores. In 50 years, every black neighborhood, every black child, the majority of black children should be getting educated by black people in a black-owned school. If we put as much money into building a school system as we put into supporting Disney movies when they come out, for with Black Panther 2 and all this other stuff they putting out for us, if we put as much money into supporting our own institutions as we put into going to see the Black Panther, we could have a whole school system across the United States in a month, and the Nation of Islam could build that for us. If we gave them the support that we give to these white folks, if we supported the Nation of Islam 1/10 as much as we support our oppressor, the Nation of Islam could build a school system that could educate black kids at a level that would have them exceeding the Jewish kids, have them exceeding the Asian kids, not equal to, not included. Forget all this stuff about like we want diversity and we want integration. No. We're not talking about integration. We're talking about elevation. We're not talking about integration. We're talking about acceleration. We're talking about our children being here and everybody else's kids being here. Because I'm telling y'all, I have seen it. I saw Wakanda. When I went to the Muhammad University of Islam, I saw Wakanda. And okay, maybe the Nation of Islam ain't your thing, but I'm going to tell you there's another school I saw called Freedom Home Academy International. When I went to Freedom Home Academy International, I saw Wakanda. See, you got to understand, Disney's Wakanda is not real. That's a fantasy. That's made up. It's like Mickey Mouse. It was made up and created as an illusion to make you feel good, but it doesn't actually exist. The Muhammad University of Islam is real. Freedom Home Academy International is real, and they are really doing this. So I need to understand this. When we made a donation to Freedom Home Academy, and it was not much. We gave them $5,000 to support one of the kids to go to school in the name of my grandmother. And then my cousin Tippy, let me tell you this, my cousin Tippy went to Freedom Home Academy International with me. And he just came there just tagging along just to watch. I think they did a check presentation. That's what we did, a check presentation. So he came along. He was so impressed that he said, tell them I want to fund another scholarship in the name of my late wife, Joyce. He was that impressed with that school. But here's the thing. What I need to understand is why a school that is that extraordinary does not have a $50 million a year budget funded and supported by black people. If we took the money spent on fried chicken and Air Jordans alone, that right there would give them enough money to educate 100,000 black children over the next decade. Am I right or am I right? Am I right or am I right? How come I can build a Popeye's chicken in the hood? It will have a line out the door, around the corner, and down the block. But when you're talking about educating our kids, we got something else better to do. That don't make no damn sense. So where am I going with this? When I think about what happened with Farrakhan, him getting banned from the platform, it upsets me, it saddens me, it disappoints me, and it downright angers me. But it does not surprise me one bit, because that's just white folks being white. That's just white folks doing everything. When Paul Anderson wrote Powernomics, he explains all of this. That's just them doing what they've done for the last 400 years, man. Ain't nothing changed. The only question you must ask yourself is, are you going to keep letting them do it to you? You know, you jumped in the basketball game and the other team's beating you by 62 points, but you saw that the team has a 32-0 record. They've been beating everybody's ass like this. What makes you think that it's going to be any different for you? So black people, we have to get competitive. We got to get competitive. This is an opportunity for us to find ways to build our own, to develop our own. That's why I take more pride in the black business school than I've ever taken in any position or appointment given to me by a white man. There is no position or appointment a white man can give me right now today, including president of Harvard University or even president of the United States, that will make me prouder than I am for being the founder of the black business school. There is nothing that would give me more pride than building something that belongs to us. What are you building that belongs to you? In fact, let's take a moment. Hit the thumbs up button, by the way. Please hit the thumbs up button. I want you to shout out your business, shout out your dream, shout out something that you created that's yours, that's black owned. And I want you to shout it out right now in the chat. And I'm going to read some of them off. I won't be able to read them all, but I want you to shout it out and I want you to take pride in it. I want you to practice taking more pride in what you created and what your family owns than on them giving you some sort of special appointment or them giving you some sort of award, some sort of good nigga sticker. No, I want you to tell me what you have done. What have you built? What did you start? Did you start a website? Did you start a business? Do you own a repair shop? Have you started some consulting firm? What did you start? Private Chef, Rethink Possible, Casper the Great, Business Credit, the Aquarius Company, I can't read it, Cattle Ranch, TNS Consulting and Training, Dealing IT Consulting, Elite Universal. What did you create? What is yours? What is yours? What do you own? What did you create that you can take pride in, that your grandchildren can take pride in? And I want you to every day, I don't care if your business ain't making a nickel. I don't care if I don't care if you lost money, ain't never made money, don't even know what money looks like no more because your business is doing so bad right now. I need you to not ever give up on yourself. Because as long as we don't own what is ours, then we will always be vulnerable to whatever they decide to do to us. So start by trying to position yourself long-term to at least own your own job. I see black real estate. What else do I see? I see, Lovebirds Event Rentals. I see the Paint Monster. I see TCC Pro Academy. See, do you see what's going on here? Do you see what's going on here? I have a term for this, actually. I create terms. Because I like to make black-owned stuff, I create black-owned terminology to define the black economic revolution. And this is what I call making economic love. Economic love, if you think about it, how are babies born? What is a baby? A baby is a miracle, right? A baby is when two people get together and they're attracted to each other and the energy is so strong that they get together and they engage in this process called sex. And the sex produces this seed and then becomes this human being. And a few years later, that's a person and they're going to school and they have opinions and they have thoughts and they have an existence. And all that came from the fact that some man looked at some woman and said, that's a beautiful woman over there. I'm gonna go try to holler at her right quick. I'm gonna go see if she'll have me, if she'll go on a date with me, right? And so it is love that produces offspring. It is love that allows you to take something from a concept to a concrete reality, right? So you literally are. I watched an episode on an astronomy video, and they were talking about the Big Bang of the universe, how the whole universe spawned from this Big Bang, where the universe started as a tiny microscopic seed and just blew up into this massive thing that we live in now that's so big that we can't even conceptualize it. And then they said, what if there are billions of Big Bangs? What if there are trillions of Big Bangs? And this is just one of them. Well, when you create a child, that's a Big Bang. You literally have something that was a concept, and then you engage in a process, and then this seed smacks, bangs, and it starts to grow, and the seed keeps growing until you got a big 6'2", 250-pound child that came from a thought. Anybody ever go through that? Anybody ever really think about the miracle of childbirth, where you're looking at your big grown-ass child who's complaining about the fact that you didn't stop at McDonald's or whatever it is they wanted you to do, and you're sitting there thinking, I remember when you were a thought. I remember when we were literally not even able to conceive of your existence, and here you are sitting next to me telling me that you want to listen to Cardi B, and I'm telling you that you shouldn't, right? Like you're going through, right? It's crazy. Well, in economics, there's a similar concept. When I see you state your businesses like Greendom Worldwide, when I see you state these concepts of companies, some of y'all's businesses are really just a concept. I see economic love being made where this is a big bang. Some of these businesses in here are going to grow into major corporations. Every major corporation that you see on the New York Stock Exchange started as an idea in somebody's head. And what happened was they didn't kill the idea. They didn't abort the idea before it was born. They stuck with the idea. They invested in the idea. They fed the idea just like you feed a baby day in, day out. Thousands of hours of consistent labor. It takes about 200,000 hours of consistent effort to raise a child from the age of 0 to the age of 18. So it's going to take thousands of hours of consistent effort for you to raise your business from a concept into a fully functioning company that's employing hundreds of black people. Right? And so ultimately, you're making economic love, and I'm encouraging you to do it. Maybe to some extent, I'm like the economic and educational version of a Keith Sweat record or a Al Green song or something, or whatever people will listen, or Teddy Pendergrass, or Marvin Gaye, that say, let's get it on. Let's get it on, right? I'm telling you, let's get it on. Let's make some economic love. Let's lay the ideas out on the table. Let's come up with ways to make our businesses stronger. Let's support each other. Let's go buy from each other. Let's help each other out. And I'm telling you, if you get people together and you make economic love, then that's where economic babies come from. It's the same concept as if you have a city, and let's say you want to increase the birth rate in that city, and you say, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to invite all the pretty girls and the ugly girls too, and all the men to a club every week, and I'm going to bring them together, and I'm going to play some sexy music and have them all get to know each other and have them all go out. And guess what's going to happen? 9 months later, you're going to start seeing the results of that labor. Right? So for us as black people, the way for us to make good economic love and for us to reproduce economically and to build the kinds of businesses that we deserve in our community, to hire our own and take care of our own so we're not scared of what they're going to do to us, is for us to find avenues to make economic love and to also not be scared to engage in the trust necessary for that love to develop. You don't do business with each other because you don't trust each other, and you damn sure don't like each other. Well, people can't make love if they don't like each other, they don't trust each other. So we need to work on that and heal. And once we heal from within, I argue that within the next 20, 30, 40, 50 years and beyond, we're going to become extraordinary human beings as a community. I believe that we're going to do things that can't even be fathomed in this generation, but we got to start by making love to each other, loving each other again, loving our businesses, make love to your dream, fall in love with that dream, just like my mama, just like when my mother was pregnant with me when she was 17 years old, and they told her you should just get an abortion because you're broke, you're too young to have a baby, you live in the hood, this baby, he's just a seed. You can just get rid of him. Well, how you like me now? How you like me now? What am I now? Am I just a seed now? No. Am I just a concept now? No. I'm a man who's sitting here talking to thousands of people, and I have a PhD and several master's degrees, and I've been able to share messages that have impacted the world. And it was only because my mother fell in love with the dream of me and stuck with that dream, even when the dream didn't look like it wasn't nothing, even when my mama loved me when I wasn't shit. And now, because my mama loved me when I wasn't shit, I get to look in the white man's face and say, now I am the shit. Now you can't stop me. Now, because my mother never gave up on the dream of me, I'm right here in your face, and ain't nothing you can do about it. Everybody in this room right now is here because some mother decided to love you and stick with you. Some father decided to love you and stick with you even when you want much of nothing. So the same thing is true with your baby business. Give birth to that child, love that child, nurture that child. Some of our babies are, we've got childbirth, what do they call it? Prenatal or natal death syndrome, or what do they call it? SIDS, where the babies die and some babies die after birth and things like that. It's going to happen. You're going to have some babies that ain't going to make it, and that's okay. But some of your babies are going to grow up to be big, strong, amazing, extraordinary things that you can't even conceptualize, can't even visualize. My mama could not visualize. When I was a baby, my mama couldn't visualize me being who I am now and doing what I do right now. She couldn't do that. I imagine Minister Farrakhan's mama, I don't know his mother, but I imagine his mother probably didn't imagine in the year 2019 that he would be a man with a message that impacts the world. But she loved him because that was her dream. His father loved him because that was his dream. So I need you to love your dream and not let anybody convince you to abort that dream. That's step one. Love each other. That's how we get strong. So anyway, hit the thumbs up button. Please hit the thumbs up button. Also, you can join our platform. It's blaggenuff.com, BLAGGENUF. That's our social media platform that you can join. We'll never ban you for anything. I mean, unless you hurt another black person, which none of you would do. And you can feel free to go there. Also, if you live in Philadelphia, I'll be in Philadelphia May 19th doing a one-day seminar on how to invest. So feel free to go to drboycephiladelphia.com. That's drboycephiladelphia.com. And also, as I tell you guys to educate your own and take care of your kids and teach your kids in your own house, we have tools to help you do that. First and foremost, if you want to get books that you want to read, I highly recommend reading books like Powernomics. And actually, my new book is coming out later on this month. If you're interested, it's called Black American Money 3. It's a sequel to part 1 and part 2, of course. And then there's Powernomics, which you can actually find a copy of Powernomics at drboycebooks.com. That's drboycebooks.com. And we also have our flashcards for children at financialflashcards.com. That's financialflashcards.com. So feel free to go check any of that out if you want to be, if you want us to help you and you want to use any of our tools, but you don't have to, but you're invited to do so. So I want to say thank you guys very much for hearing me. I only planned to talk about this for a few minutes, but I think that the emotion got me because I'm a big fan of Farrakhan. I'm a big fan of the Nation of Islam. That's not going to change. And we're going to keep this train moving no matter what. All right, so everybody take care. Have a good day. And I'll talk to you soon. Love you guys. Peace.